What's up, everybody? It's Goose. I'm gonna give y'all a update on my new project at my boss's property. I've already showed y'all the main pen I got the goats in. It's 6 rolls of electric poultry net, and then I came over here and connected with poly braid, and then I did that on the back side too. So I keep them in this pen during night, and then in the morning I come out here and I let them loose in the back, and it's kind of fenced off now. I'm gonna show y'all what I got going on. It's a temporary setup right now. When I move the goats out of here, I'm gonna redo it. As you can see, Jenny's in here now. She's done really good. No complaints about her barking too much or anything. So the plan's gonna be, once I move the herd out, I'm gonna take all this electric net fence down, and I'm just going to do 4 strands of poly braid all the way around this thing. So let me get in there and let the goats out, and I'll show y'all what I got going on the back side. All right, everybody's at the gate and ready to go. Come on, go. Come on, go. Come on, go. A little kid here was born just a few days ago. Her mom got bred 2 months late somehow. All the other kids are 2 months old, and this thing was just born. You can see its butt's kind of dirty. It looks weird. That's normal. Baby goats have like bright yellow poop the first few days they're alive. I don't know why, but that's normal. She'll have, or he, that's a boy, he'll have regular goat poop here in a few days. So all the goats are going through the woods to forage. I'm gonna go over here to where I tied into the fence, over here on the back side, and show y'all what I did. Alright, so this is where I tied into my fence. Before I go into that, I want to show y'all my grounding here. If you look online, they say you need 3 10-foot ground rods, which if it's really dry in your area, you might need 30-foot of ground rod. But if your soil is wet, you just don't need all that ground rod. So I'm just using this T-post. The reason I'm doing this, one of my animals chewed up my ground wire, and I didn't want to buy a new one, so I just took the alligator clip to it, and I clipped the wire to this T-post. This is only going to work if your ground is wet and you're not running a lot of fence. I'm running this, all I'm running off this Energizer is this Smart Fence. It's 4 strands of poly wire, and it's about 300 foot long, so 1,200 foot of poly wire is what this is running. If you're trying to power a bunch of fence, a T-post is not going to be a good enough ground rod for you. But if your ground's wet and you're only running a little bit of wire, it could work. I got my tester in my pocket. I'll show y'all it works. 8,000 volts. So you just got to test it. I brought a ground rod out here. I was going to use that, but the T-post was enough ground for this thing to put 8,000 volts, so I just used it. I just wanted to point that out because I've read a lot of things about grounding, and the main thing is your soil needs to be wet. If it was really dry right here, this wouldn't work. That's all there is to it. But I'm in Middle Tennessee, where we get plenty of moisture. I've never had to use more than like 9 foot of ground rod around here. And if it dries out, you can just come back here and pour some water on that. It works. That's what I do. But I just wanted to show y'all that this T-post is my ground rod. It's about 8 inches in the ground. you just got to test it. Set up your fence, put a ground rod in, see if it puts out enough voltage. If not, add another ground rod. But it just depends. If you're wet like we are here, you can get away with just a little bit. If you're in the desert somewhere, it's not going to work for you. But I wanted to show you all that. So this is my Gallagher solar energizer. I just came over here and tied into my net fence. So this post is my net fence. This is just a drivable post I got from Premier One. I'm using it as a buffer because I don't want this wire touching this wire, because they're on different energizers. I got an energizer for this, and then I got an energizer for this right now. So I put that in there as a buffer and to also help hold it up. This smart fence has this little string to help hold it up, so I set that up. And I just took a bungee cord and put them together. So there's no gap here for the goats to go through, but I put a little buffer there so the wires wouldn't touch. I don't know if that would mess up your energizer or not, but energizers are expensive, so I'm not going to find out. This goes to the back of the property. I got a little trail through the woods. I'm going to go back there and show y'all that real quick. Alright, so I'm on the back of the property. That's the neighbor's property over there where that barn is. I left a buffer between my fence and that fence, just in case any goats get out or whatever. There's cows over there. I decided to leave a buffer, and plus there's a bunch of dirt mounds over here and a bunch of rock. It seems like somebody pushed a bunch of rocks over here in the past, but it's really rough terrain, so I came through here. I'm just going to leave a buffer. So this is the back of this Gallagher smart fence. I've showed this a little bit. I need to make a video reeling it out. I'm still kind of getting the hang of it. It's pretty simple, but I could be better at rolling it up and unrolling it. I think it's just going to take a little bit of practice. But you can see I took it all the way back to this fence right here. I got it as close as I could. There's a little gap here, but nothing should go through there. A kid could, but none of my big goats are going to go through there. So this last post, it has one of these little orange wires too. I just connected it to this fence, and then I put the little loop back in there, the stake, and that's holding it up. Which this post is broke, so it's kind of flimsy right there, but it's working out. So this fence line back here, I've cleared it out, and then I went and I put insulators up. I didn't put any on this post because I wasn't sure where I was going to end this and how I'm going to do it. This dog. The last energizers, I'll put well, I might put porcelain insulators, or that's what I was thinking, but I'm not going to. This post is so flimsy, I'm not going to be able to use it. So I'll probably put a T-post there and put some insulators on it. But anyway, I thought I was going to end at this post. That's why I haven't put insulators up there yet. So I did all my insulators at 10 and 26 inches. All my electric wires, my different fences are all set up on different dimensions. I've kind of just been experimenting, seeing what works best. At my house, I actually put my bottom insulator lower, but too much grass gets on it and it grounds out. So I'm gonna try 10 inches. I think I'll like that. This tree right here, it's dead, it's hollow, but my wire was gonna hit the tree trunk, so I did put an insulator on that tree. But yeah, I just went on all these posts and put the insulators up. There's a tree right here growing through the fence, so I put insulators on it because it's ruined. Same thing with that cedar tree. Let me walk up here and show y'all what I got going on. So from this point on is where the fence was laying on the ground. There was like 3 or 4 trees that fell on this fence, and it had broke all the wood posts. I had to remove all the wood posts from here on out and put T-post in. But I'm happy with it. It bounced back really well. I was expecting to have a bunch of holes in it and have to patch it up and everything, and there was actually only one hole in it, which I haven't patched it yet, but I'm happy about this fence. It turned out a lot better than expected. I still haven't wired it up or anything. I just took the top wire and I got it over the T-post, so that top wire is holding it up on all these T-posts. I haven't wired it yet because I wanted to put my insulators on first. If you wire your fence up and then try to do the insulators, it's a real pain in the butt. So I made sure to do the insulators first. I'm probably going to run the wire before I wire this fence to the post, just to make sure that's where I want the wire before I wire the fence up and make it difficult on myself. So that's why the fence isn't wired up yet. I got to leave this post. It's I mean, it's a little flimsy, but it's not completely broke down there, so I'm using it. So I just added a T-post every 10 foot or so, where I could get them. I'm coming up where it's real rocky and I couldn't hardly get anything in. I know you can't really see this fence on this video, but it's a good little fence. I mean, it's not going to hold anything in by itself. Well, I say that, it is right now. The thing is, the goats aren't going to try to get through this fence until they start running low on forage over here. So as long as I get this hot wire up before we start running out of all this forage, I'll be all right. But yeah, I get some hot wire on this fence. It'll hold whatever I put in here. I'm happy with it. I really thought I was going to have to come down here with 4 strands of hot wire all through the back, but this fence, it bounced back up for me, so I just got to do 2 strands of hot wire. So these next 2 posts is where it's real rocky. You can see the spade still sticking out of the ground. So these T-posts are like 4 to 6 inches in the ground. I might take them out. I'll probably end up just taking one out. The thing is, it's 3 of them. That one's sitting like that too. So I mean, it's just a giant rock right here. But from that T-post right here to the next one that's actually in the ground over here, it's about probably close to 40 foot. So I got to have a T-post in here somewhere to hold the wire and keep it from touching the woven wire fence. So I'm not sure. I mean, I tried. Every few inches I tried putting T-posts in. It is a solid rock all the way through. Yeah, I don't know what I'll do there yet. We'll see. But regardless, I gotta have something here to hold the wire to keep it off the woven wire fence. I just realized I don't have insulators on that one. I added that post late is what happened. I need to get some insulators back here for it. You can see right here, this was a big old tree that was on this fence right here. You can see all this rotten wood. I mean, it's been sitting there for years. Really surprised this thing stood back up, but it did, and I'm happy. Saved me a lot of work, I tell you. So we're getting close to the end up here. Man, I wish this fence would show up better on this video, but it's not. I mean, it's old and ragged, but it's only got 1 hole in it, so it's going to work for me. I just wanted to show y'all this fence because when it was laying on the ground and I told y'all I was going to use it, some of y'all probably thought I was crazy, but it's standing. So this is the end. There's the corner. This is my 1 hole in the fence. I mean, it's a hole from here all the way over here. So I put some dummy wire up. This hot wire, it's It's not hot. Obviously, it's on the fence. It's on the post and everything. But it'll trick the goats. They're trained to hot wire, and most of the fence out here is hot, so they're not going to go playing with that for no reason. I'm going to patch that fence. I just haven't done it yet. The main goal was to get the herd out here so they can get to eating. They pretty well cleared out their main pen, so I needed to get them back here to get them some forage. Let's look at this last row of fence. So over here I got 4 strands of poly braid. I use Powerflex Fence Company poly braid. So the end post, I had to use a T-post there. I actually ought to show y'all, because there's a lot of tension on it pulling that way. And I had this barbed wire here, so I just put the T-post behind the barbed wire, and that top strand of barbed wire is actually holding the post up and holding all that tension from the wire. So all the way down, I just did these step-in posts. These posts, they don't really hold any tension. They're just keeping the wire up off the ground, holding it kind of level and straight. But yeah, they're not holding any tension. These posts are just to keep the wire off the ground. So that's how I got it all the way down to that corner. I'm gonna go down there at the corner and show y'all what I got. Alright, so I'm over here at the corner. I showed y'all this pin goes all the way back here. Showed y'all a T-post there. I had to put a T-post on the corner because that thing is holding a lot of tension. The wire's pulling back on it. I actually set it a little crooked. It's hard to tell when you're this close, but I kind of set it leaning that way, so when the wire pulled back on it, it holds the tension better. So from back there to here, and we'll go over here. This is the end of it. I put the goats a water trough out here. Of course, they had one on inside the main pen, but yesterday I stuck one out here, so they got water out here while they're out grazing. So down here, I tied in the fence kind of like I did on the other side, somewhat. A little different because this is the poly braid and not the smart fence, so I had to use a T-post, and then once again use one of these drivable posts as a buffer, because you don't want this poly wire touching that metal. It'll ground your fence out. So I just put this post right behind the T-post to keep that wire from touching it. And this wire is on these 3-to-1 geared reels. These are Terragate reels. I've only used them once, but I really like them. They're really handy. Make rolling up the wire really easy. They have this locking mechanism right here that keeps it from rolling back out, which that's how I'm keeping the tension on there. But I like them. They're really handy. They're gonna come in handy for a lot of things. So this fence, also this stretch of fence right here, this poly braid I got over here, it's not hot. I've been running them like this for about 3 days. I haven't had any problems with them getting out or anything. Nobody's testing the fence, so they have plenty of forage in there. But I am gonna hook a solar energizer up over here so they don't start testing it or nothing. I don't need them getting out. So now that everything's working out, I put this net fence up to keep the predators out, because I didn't know if Jenny was going to work out here. But she's doing great. No complaints about barking or anything. She's doing a really good job. So when I take the goats out of here, I'm going to redo this. I'm going to take this net fence down, and I'm just going to do this 4 strands of poly braid all the way around. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to bounce it out a little further over here, cover this ditch up. Then I'm going to go up there with it and go back through the woods where I got that smart fence. But I'm not going to do that until I get the goats out of here and I can take it all down and not have to worry about them running off. But everybody's doing good. They're loving it out here. They are really tearing into this forage. But that's the update. I'll see y'all later. Goose out.